Alrighty, I'm
Alright.
live. Welcome on. Welcome. This is Goose. Tuning in live on YouTube. I will be posting this directly to the Discord channel, Goose Gains. If you're in it, lots of value. Big week coming up. I'm very excited. Let's get this week rolling, man. Alright, where I wanted to start, one of our admins, Zach Schmidt, he created a nice little PowerPoint on brokers. Simple things just to get you started. Um, a broker, just an overview, is something to buy and sell shares or invest into ETFs or an IRA or something like that. IRAs are a little bit different, individual retirement account, but all kind of the same thing. So, how to make a broker account and start trading stocks. This is to get you started if you don't never signed up or don't know what platforms to use. What is a broker? A brokerage account is an investment account that allows you to buy and sell a variety of investments such as stocks, bonds, mutual funds, and ETFs. Once you open an account, you can immediately start depositing funds and placing orders, and the transactions will be carried out by the brokerage on your behalf. So when you go to buy or sell a security, your broker is doing that for you. They're putting it. You're saying the price you're willing to buy it at, and they're the ones executing it and giving it to you on your brokerage account app or mobile, whatever it is. What is a stock, bond, and ETF? So these are all different things that you can buy through a brokerage account. A stock is a type of investment that represents an ownership share in a company. When you purchase a company stock, you're purchasing a small piece of that company called a share. So if you purchase a share of Facebook, you own a certain percentage of Facebook's stock. Snapchat, if you buy a share of them, the same thing. So those are common companies that you typically would hear about when you're buying shares of companies. Snapchat, DraftKings, Apple, Caterpillar, Johnson and Johnson, Procter and Gamble. There's a bunch of different stocks out there that you can buy and have a small piece of that company. Then there's bonds out there. That's a different type of investment. That's not usually what we go over in Goose Gains. We do a lot of day trading with stocks. But bonds is a different type of investment. It gives you the promise of getting your money back. The most common bonds you will hear about are savings bonds. These are likely put away. You put away a certain type of money, a certain amount of money, and in a certain amount of years you'll be able to get that money back with interest. And that's like the whole agreement upon a bond is typically you're helping someone. If you go through like a U.S. agency or the government, you're paying off like a little bit of debt towards someone, but it's in an agreement that if you're giving them this X amount of money to them, then they're willing to give you a 2% yield on top of that. So that guarantees you that you don't have to worry about a stock going up or down. That if you bought that bond and they're willing to give you 2% interest, you're going to get 2% of your money in however many amount of years and time put you agreed upon. So that's an easy way to make investments and to make passive income. Very simple and very not sophisticated, but very easy. ETFs and exchange traded funds. I personally invest into a few ETFs myself for long terms. It's a type of security that tracks an index sector, commodity, or other asset, but which can be purchased or sold on a stock exchange the same way as a regular stock. So an example that Zach put up here was the Qs. I played that last week in the chat. Put a short on them. The Qs, they have tech companies. They're a basket fund of tech companies. So when you're buying the Qs, you're not just buying Apple or you're not just buying Tesla. You're buying all of them. You're getting a piece of Apple, Tesla, Microsoft, PayPal, Google. I think Facebook's in there too. So it's like ETFs are a great way to get in on industries. So a lot of my ETFs that I hold are the Qs, so technology. Then I have like a robotics. I have automation, psychedelic research, clean energy, all the up and coming industries that are coming. I don't necessarily know which companies are going to take the lead on those, So I like basket funds like ETFs that give you all different options and all different plays, but within the same industry that you think is going to grow. So if you think electric vehicles are going to grow, I'm sure there's an ETF out there for that stuff. It's kind of under clean energy a little bit, but tech companies, Tesla's under there. It's like you get into the industry instead of buying one specific stock. You know what I mean? An ETF is a good balance of those, and I personally use those on my long terms. Completely up to you. What broker should I use? Completely up to you. There it is again. Here in Goose Gains, we choose different brokers, which is good because we can help you out if you ever have questions. That is, if it is one that we also use. We've used like pretty much all of them. We're going to show you all the popular brokers in the U.S. Let me grab a drink of water really quick. All right, brokers. We got E-Trade, very reputable company. TD Ameritrade, been around years. Thinkorswim, that's their trading platform that they use now. Very good, executes on time, never a problem putting stop losses or anything. They're not Robinhood. Fidelity, Active Trader Pro. Zach uses that, and Jimmy. They both mentioned that they use Fidelity. Very clean. They're both very well-rounded day traders that use this, so highly recommend. Webull, Drew uses Webull. We just got started on it. He convinced me to move. It's a mobile-friendly broker. Then you have Robinhood. Robinhood, a lot of people know it kind of broke the barriers from a regular investor to the common day trader. It's personally I've used Robinhood for a year or two, and I've never had many problems. I do know what happened with GameStop and AMC. A lot of like turbulence happened with that brokerage, so just keep your eyes peeled. They're not the most reputable thing in the world, but they are okay. They get the job done. It's baby proof. Beginners can understand their brokerage account a little easier. TD Ameritrade and E-Trade are a little sophisticated. I've never used Fidelity, so I don't know, but I do know these two are a little sophisticated. But Webull and Robinhood are kind of like baby proof. So I suggest those. This one says, which one should I choose? I mean, there's so many different ones. Depends on what you want to do. Completely up to you to do your research, but I personally use Fidelity. That's Zach speaking. He made this PowerPoint for trading, and I use their platform, Active Trader Pro, for that chart. Goose and Drew. Drew doesn't use Robinhood. He does use TD Ameritrade a little bit, but mostly Webull. Jimmy and I, Zach, use Fidelity, and then like I said, I plan to switch to Webull soon. Instead of asking me, I'm just going to tell you. Uh, Cash accounts. So there's a difference between an individual brokerage account is something where you are still watched as a you can still get flagged as a pattern day trader, and if you didn't already know, um you could be flagged as a day trader if you have an account value 25 or $24,999 or less. You can't trade you can't do more than 3 day trades in a 5-day trading period. So if you buy and sell the same security in the same trading day, that is considered a day trade, and you only get 3 of those if your account is under $24,999. So the barrier that Webull breaks with a cash account is that when you use your cash account, you're putting your settled funds up there, so it's not relying on unsettled funds to buy and sell a security, so that it doesn't actually track how many trades you do make because it's simply off your money in a way. So you get unlimited day trades. You can trade as many times as you want. I can open and close as many positions as I want in a day, and it won't be tracked. I'm not going to get a limit of 3 day trades. So to me as a day trader, active day trader, I think it's going to be a very good move to Webull. What do I do now? Once you decide on the broker, go open the account. Get it open. Let's go. You're in Goose Gains for a reason. Let's start making these gains. There will be a lot of different accounts to make. Just choose one individual brokerage account because there's going to be an IRA, Roth IRA, and stuff under Fidelity, all of them. So now you can add money to your account by funding it so that you can purchase and sell stocks. Any questions, message me or any of the admins, please. So that was the PowerPoint. Like I said, if you have any questions, please message any of the admins. We're all willing to help you here. So if you're not signed up or don't know which one, any further questions, please ask. So what I was going to move into after is confluences. That's what I wanted to focus on today. So I'm going to go to my charts and show you some confluences, teach you a little bit. So I'm going to start off with the SPY. Don't know why it's on the 15-minute. Kind of like the 4-hour and the day here. So last week we mentioned candlesticks, uptrends, downtrends, and consolidation. So we learned kind of, where a candlestick opens and closes. If it's red, it opens on top and closes on the bottom. If it's green, it closes or it opens on the bottom and closes on top. So it's inverted. It's closing here on the red one, but it's closing here on the green one. So it inverts, like you learned that. And then we learned consolidation versus trends. We kind of learned, where was Netflix? That was a good one. So we learned like a consolidation, very long ranging motion. So there's up, then there's sideways, and then there's down too, down right here. So it's like there's 3 different things that can go on. Those are the things that we went over, right? So now after you get those things down, you want to start adding confluences. So all of last week we took out all the indicators. So I didn't have this RSI, I didn't have lines, I didn't have any of these things, a trend line going. So those were all missing. So that's what I wanted to add today, is reasons as to why we're getting in a trade. So when you start to identify the trends, you're identifying that it's on an uptrend. You see that it's making higher highs, higher lows, higher highs, higher lows, and it continues to make this trend. So the reason, if it's completely blank and you don't see anything, none of the lines are here, you could just like see it kind of blankly, is that we add, so an EMA and MA crossover, the 200 would be this one down here. And when you see it, what it's explaining in the EMA is an estimated, or yeah, exponential moving average. So EMA stands for exponential moving average, and you could set your settings to whatever number you want. As of right now, my EMA is 200. So that what that's standing for is that there's the last 200 candles is the exponential moving average. So it's the average of the last 200 candles on where it's at. So typically when you're getting in trades and you're seeing trends, if you see an uptrend and the last 200 candles are above, this is going to be right on under it, holding that ultimate trend. So you could see it blankly if you try and imagine these lines not being here. You could just add this trend line and be like, oh, like it's holding the trend line, the 200 EMA is standing, and the 50 MA. That's the moving average. It's a little tighter, a little bit more price action. But these are bounce points and ultimate trend points in what we're looking at. So when you identify that it's either going up, down, sideways, consolidation, uptrend, downtrend, then you could start to get the EMAs and see where they're at ultimately. So a little bit more confluences is adding these things. So you go to the Qs, and what I played last week is because I seen this. The reason I was getting in is because it had an uptrend, it was going, and then consolidated. This is the 4 hours, so this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Like these are all 4 hours. That's like 4, 8, 12, 16, 20, 24. That's 2 days of trading right here. That it's just consistently consolidating sideways, 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 sideways. As soon as I seen this break right there, that is what kind of had me on the edge. That's why I posted that. The reason is because it's consolidating. Yeah, it's just that. But you add in the confluences of the 50 MA, it's breaking that line right there as it's breaking the consolidation. So it's like if it's breaking the consolidation and the line, that's what you call confluences. It's giving you multiple reasons to get in a trade. That's what I keep bringing up is yes, there's consolidation, there's uptrends, there's downtrends, but that's the simplicity of it. Is you're seeing an uptrend, you're seeing a downtrend. Now you start to add more confluences and reasons to get into a trade. I see that consolidation is being broken here. So I was looking to wait to see what this retest was, and it ended up getting denied. And I shorted it and made a decent amount of money off of it because of my confluences, because I saw it break the 50 MA and the consolidation with it being denied by it again. And eventually, it does go down a little bit from that point. And that's how I ended up banking because of the confluences I had on those trades. You got to be able to identify the trend, identify what's happening, and then with indicators, I haven't went over the RSI yet, but these are moving averages. So these are averaging out the last 50 candlesticks. It says what is EMA? It's similar to the SMA, measuring trend, direction over a period of time. However, whereas SMA simply calculate an average of price data, EMA applies more weight to data that is more current. Because of its unique calculation, EMA will follow prices more closely than a corresponding. So as you can see, these are the two differences. There's crossovers and stuff. But like on this chart, it's holding it, broken through, denied. Goes all the way down. It's staying below it because that's the moving average. But once broken again, it starts turning up. It starts going up because it's broken and the crossover happened. The red was on top, and then all of a sudden the blue got on top, and then next thing you know, the trend is going up. So here it's like if you're setting your chart, you're going to be putting your support and resistance lines, seeing what the tops are and what the major points are. See that it's broken right here. I mean, you have a whole line that boom, 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 boom. It's all respected right here. It's broken here, but it comes up and then it broke the EMA. So it's like it broke that and there's a crossover. It's like right there is confluences. These are things and reasons why I'm posting them to you on Discord Live, is because this is what I'm seeing. I'm seeing the support being broken and the EMA being broken. And then once you see those things, those are some more confluences to get you in a trade or to what you want to see. So once you see those things like that, a consolidation was broken and the EMA was broken, that's a good reason to get in. But then you can add some more things as there's those two indicators, the EMA and the MA, the two lines. There's another indicator that I like, the RSI. That stands for Relative Strength Index. Sorry, I'm getting really parched trying to talk. But the RSI is Relative Strength Index. So that kind of gives you a benchmark as if they're oversold or overbought. So this line up here is typically overbought. It means that it's way too high. There's it's on a really big uptrend. So as you can see, right down here is right here at this point. This would be the oversold point. So if you're looking at this and you're seeing it range a little bit in consolidation, you see the trend and now consolidation follows, and you're looking and you're like, whoa, like that seems really oversold. And you look and it was just like broken out. Your potential is that it was a false breakout because of how oversold it is. So that's giving you more confluence that it could potentially be oversold, and that could be a stopping point because the RSI is showing you that it's oversold. It doesn't mean that it's guaranteed that it's going to bounce off, but like I said, it's giving you confluences. You're adding reasons as to why to get into a trade. You see the consolidation ranging, you see it's oversold, could be a false breakout, and then right here, it's broken above. It's broken above the MA. It finally broke above it. And you're like, oh, that looks good. The trend, the consolidation might be broken, and it finally is. But you see it come down, and the RSI comes down a little bit after it was completely oversold. Bounces way up, goes past the RSI was broken like right here. Goes way above, and it's consolidating over. And then as you see, where I said it was like oversold and consolidating, you could see it on the RSI right here. It's way oversold and it's breaking through this. So it's like you start to get certain confluences. You're getting the MA, you're getting your consolidation down with the breakout, your RSI, you're seeing if it's oversold or overbought. And there right there, it's like I have three reasons as to why to get in. And then you could start to add fundamentals. Fundamentally trading is all about news, numbers, balance sheets, things like that. And as you start to add these things in, you could start to become a lot more efficient in trading. You could start to confluence yourself as to why you want to get in because every trade has a story. So there's reasons as to why I shorted the SPY last week and stuff like that. I changed the trend line, but it ultimately was just holding this. And the reason I started shorting is because it broke the 50 MA and it was getting denied, so it was most likely going to come back down to the overall trend. The 200 MA right now is being broken on the 4 hour for the SPY, so it's still look in very murky waters. And you ultimately the trend line was moved. I moved it up to where it's at now, but it was up here a little bit, like holding that trend. It was a little tight and it broke through. So it's like you see it breaking the 200 MA, you see it breaking the ultimate trend line. Now, after every major breakthrough, there's usually a retest that follows. So next week, I'm expecting it to bounce a little bit and then maybe get denied and have further action in the downside. And it's like that's the trend. It was more like that. So as you can see, boom, 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 boom. It's just holding that trend. That's just a simple trend. But then you add in the lines, you see it broken. You see up here, right here, way overbought on the RSI. It's way overbought. It's all the way up here. So it's like those are things you got to watch. Like I said, if I expect it to bounce because there's a major breakthrough. Usually there's a retest after that, and then the RSI way oversold. So it's like you have to be looking at multiple reasons as to why to get in a trade. It's not one candlestick. It's not one trend. It's everything combined that's giving you a reason to get in these trades. It's giving me a reason to post on Discord and tell you guys what I think is going to move. So there's like certain confluences that I'm looking at, and that's what I'm trying to get the point across is that it's not just one thing, it's a story. I see the trend. I see it being broken. I see the retest possibly happening. There's a constant story happening. So it's uber important to start getting some of these confluences written on your trading accounts. So that's why we opened up with the brokerage account. Get signed up, get started, and then we could start adding more confluences. And as you see us posting technical analysis, you guys will start to understand what we're seeing and be able to chart yourself what you want to chart. So if there's any other questions, I mean, I feel like I covered mostly what I did want to cover. I know with you guys not being able to interact and have questions instantly, it's kind of hard to go over everything. So please give feedback. Please come back to me and after you watch this video and ask questions if you're not understanding something, because I'm here to help. I'm here to make you a profitable trader. As of right now, our admins aren't in here. I think Drew is. I'm not sure if he has anything else to add, but I was going to stop the stream for this week's class, and hopefully this week is fucking great. I'll start. I posted Facebook already for ultimately holding the trend. AMD, I have that's all coiled up. Jimmy's been posting that one, so I'm waiting for that to break out to the upside. I was looking at like an October 15th call, like a 115 somewhere around here to break out. So we'll see. Just kind of waiting on some things, but any questions, comments, concerns, please message any of the admins. We're more than willing to help. Appreciate you guys. Have a wonderful day. I need to figure